All right, welcome. Today we're going to dive into the fantastic book, More Money Habits, and really boil it down into a simple, actionable game plan. We're going to break down the daily practices that can literally change your financial future.
It's a question so many of us have probably asked ourselves at some point. You can be talented, you can be a hard worker, you're full of great ideas, but your bank account just doesn't seem to get the memo. It's a super frustrating paradox, isn't it? Well, the answer might be a lot simpler than we think, and it has less to do with your talent and, well, a whole lot more to do with your routine.
And there it is. This is the big idea, the central thesis of the whole book. It's not really about how much you make, it's about what you consistently do with the money you have. Your financial future isn't being carved out by the size of your paycheck, but by those small, everyday routines. The book's preface just nails it with this quote. Wealth isn't some accident or lucky lottery win. Nope. It's the almost inevitable result of small, disciplined actions compounding on top of each other day after day. It's a lifestyle shift, not some overnight success story.
Okay, so where do we even start? The very first pillar of this whole framework is all about your mindset. Why? Because before money can grow in your bank account, it has to first take root in your mind. Your financial reality is, believe it or not, a direct reflection of your internal beliefs. Now, this wealth mindset, it's not just about, wishing for more money or positive thinking. It's a complete shift in how you see yourself, from being just an earner to being a creator of value. It's about getting out of that survival mode and into a mindset of abundance and taking total ownership of your financial destiny. And you can see the difference, right? It's night and day. On one side, you've got blame, excuses, and that need for instant gratification. On the other, you have ownership and long-term planning. The poor mindset sees money as this scarce thing you have to chase. But the wealth mindset, it sees money as a byproduct, a tool that's naturally attracted to the value you create. So the real question is, which side do you find yourself on most days?
This quote just sums it all up perfectly, doesn't it? The logic is so simple, but so profound. Your thoughts guide your actions, and your actions create your results. If you can master your thoughts, you're already halfway to mastering your finances.
Okay, so we've got the mindset down, but that's just the start, right? A great mindset is kind of useless without the daily disciplines to back it up. So this section is all about the practical, hands-on habits that build a rock-solid financial foundation. So let's break down how to actually spend smart. Step 1, get brutally honest with yourself about what's a need and what's a want. Step 2, totally reframe how you think about a budget. It's not a prison, it's your roadmap to freedom. And step 3, the absolute golden rule, always spend less than you earn. That little gap between what you make and what you spend, that's where your future wealth is born. This next one, man, it is so critical, yet it's the one we all tend to skip. You just can't get control of your finances if you have no clue where your money is actually going. Tracking your money isn't about judging your choices, it's about gaining clarity. And look, it doesn't have to be some crazy complicated spreadsheet. A simple log like this, whether it's in a notebook or an app, gives you a real-time picture of your finances. You can see everything at a glance. The money coming in, where it's got to go for essentials, the lifestyle choices like that coffee, and most importantly, the money you're intentionally setting aside for your future. I absolutely love this quote. It completely reframes the whole idea of tracking, right? It's not a chore, it's an act of respect for your own money. When you pay close attention to it, you start to gain control over it, and it begins working for you instead of just disappearing from you. All right, now for the really exciting part. Once you've got your mindset right and your daily disciplines locked in, it's time to fire up your growth engine. This is where we stop just playing defense and start playing offense. We're moving beyond just managing and into the world of multiplication. And it's so important to get this distinction. Think of it this way. Saving is your defense. It builds a safety net, it protects what you have. But investing is your offense. That's the engine that's going to actively multiply your money and build real, long-lasting wealth. Just look at this. The power of being consistent is absolutely incredible. A single, one-time investment. Yeah, it grows. Turning $5,000 into 16 is pretty great. But look what happens with small, regular investments over that same time. That $100 a month explodes to over $76,000. That's the magic of compounding. Your money starts making money, and then that money starts making its own money. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, so the next piece of this growth engine is all about diversification, not just of your investments, but of your income itself. Relying on a single paycheck is like trying to stand on one leg. You might be steady for a while, but it's inherently unstable. Look, most of us, we start right here with active income, trading our time for a paycheck. The journey to real wealth is all about strategically building up the other three. The goal is to create systems through things like passive income from royalties, portfolio income from investments, and business income that make money even when you're not actively on the clock. And that right there, that's the end game. That's what financial freedom really truly means. It isn't about being lazy or not working. It's about having the choice to work because you want to, not because you have to. So we've talked about mindset. We've talked about discipline. We've talked about growth. But the book points to one final, ultimate habit that not only sustains wealth, but more importantly, gives it real purpose. This is where we go beyond just the numbers on a spreadsheet. Now, this next idea, it might sound a little backwards at first. I get it. But it's a secret that the wealthiest people really understand. True sustainable wealth isn't just about how much you can pile up for yourself. It's about contribution. The focus flips from what you can get from the world to what value you can give to it. This final message is it's so powerful. It frames generosity not as a loss, but as a multiplier. When you create value for other people, when you share what you know, and when you contribute in a meaningful way, wealth just has a way of flowing back to you, often from places you'd least expect. It creates this amazing cycle of abundance.
And so it all comes down to this one question. It takes everything we've talked about, the mindset, the discipline, the growth, and boils it down to a single daily action. Because if wealth really does follow value, then your journey to building more money habits starts right here, right now, with the value you decide to create today. Thanks for sticking with me through this breakdown.